I think it's important to point out, Joe would say the same thing to you, that God, I closed the door. I can still hear the dripping faucet. Damn it. Anyhow, my mom, um, remember if my mom had done the whole thing where start a new life, sell this place, move away, and she knew that too. We would have. It's not that she doesn't have to be on meds. We know she does. There's a difference between someone having to be on meds and being over medicated. Okay? And that's where my venomous hatred towards that whole thing comes from, derives from where it derives. Okay? We would have found her someone that, you know, and where I would have input and I would have say. And here, it's not the case. Okay? And my mom made her own choices. Okay? As Joe would say, she's a free moral agent, as are we all. And she has to pay the consequences. She has to pay the consequences. These doctors don't really care what I have to say. They just want my so-called, blessing. Remember years ago when those assholes were putting her on lithium and putting her on neurotonin and whatever, and putting her on Haldol and putting her on this and putting her on that. Just they get her in their clutches in these mental hospitals and just want to put her on everything. I had zero say. All I could do was cry. Because Auntie was in charge and Auntie didn't give a fuck. Auntie, the doctors know best. I know, yeah. That's why my mom, doctors know best, but that's why my mom lands in the ER when the doctors are putting her on everything under the sun. They get an elderly person in their clutches and they're just gonna just put her on everything under the sun based on her behavior at that moment when she's under duress. She doesn't want to be in there. You think I will never, you think I will, I've talked about all this years ago. You think I will never, ever, ever not believe that my mom landed in the ER and then she gets stabilized in the hospital and 4 days later gets sent back to the mental hospital and 8 hours later she's back in the ER? That it's not their fault, that they didn't do something, that it's not, that she's on way too much fucking meds and new meds and all this crap. You think I'll ever believe it was just coincidence that happened? Even the hospital agreed with me. with me. They didn't have to. They cared. I said, you can't send her back there. You're going to kill her. It's like, what the hell? This is ridiculous. They're like, so they found a way to justify keeping her and not sending her back to the mental hospital. But as I said, just from the perspective of a person capable of thinking, capable of caring, capable of not viewing psych meds like candy, if the variable was that my mom's shot was reduced, oh, and you, just as an aside, you know, our upset psychiatrist going to be gloating because he wanted to put the shot back up. But whatever. Or else that shot was reduced, then put the shot back up. And let's try that out. No, it's not like she broke and had this bad breakdown. The dead asshole didn't even fucking notice anyway. Okay? Such a joke. He's gonna turn around and throw his weight around. Meanwhile, who got my mom the help that she needed? And who saw her via a fucking Zoom call and noticed nothing wrong with her? You know, such a joke. But now he's gonna be gloating. Now he's gonna be acting like he was hands-on when he wasn't. I lump them all together with hatred. So I can still say I don't actually hate anybody the way that some people like just focus on, you know. My hatred is directed to all of them as a whole. Anyhow, if my mom had a bad breakdown on her regular shot, which again, she'd been doing so good for years. I checked my email. Okay? It's been it's been a few years. It's been since 18, I think. She's been a long time not being in a mental hospital. Okay? But if she has this bad breakdown because we reduced the shot, because we were hoping she'd be okay with the reduced shot again, everyone's heart was in the right place. If she had the bad breakdown while on the same dosage, then you could say, okay, she needs more meds. But if she has the bad breakdown as a result of reducing the shot, why can't we just put the shot back up to what it was? I agree with that. No, we have to add on more. Merry-go-round, revolving door, whatever you want to call it. Because even though we haven't tried out with the shot being back up to what it was, we just gonna assume that my mom needs more and then she'll be on that more for the rest of her life. But again, I tried to save her. She would have been saved if she had come and run away with me and Joe, because we don't believe in all that fucking shit. Okay? just look at it from a logical point of view. You know, if you have a breakdown on the same meds you're on, then that's not caused by any reduction in the meds. But if you have this breakdown when something drastic happened, where your shot was greatly reduced, then why can't we try just putting the shot back up to what it was before, instead of adding in a whole brand new fucking med? But again, they always do. They always do what they want. They always do what they want. Nothing I can do. Just step back. I can care, but at least I do care, as Auntie never cared. Not one little bit did Auntie care. What they did to my mom. Oh, the doctor's my boss. Go fuck yourself up, you cunt ass. I'm sick. I'm so glad you got my vaccine. There you have it. Several years ago, my mom wound up in the mental hospital. And instead of wanting to put her on more, that psychiatrist shocked the shit out of me and took her off of what she had been on. And I'm like, I was in shock, remember? I'm like, yeah, she's like, I don't believe in, but she was wrong. She was wrong. Unfortunately. But I still appreciated her trying. And I appreciate this time around anybody going to bat for my mom, including her regular doctor. And, we're trying to say, why can't she? She's been doing good on the reduced doses that we put her on. We did because of medical problems. Why can't we just keep her on that? Just because we turned out to be wrong doesn't give asshole the right to gloat, but I know that he's gloating. Okay? Because, again, yeah, okay, so we turned out to be wrong, unfortunately, but we could have also turned out to be right. My mom was taken off a med years ago, and she was fine off of it. So now you want to put it back on. Total stranger, meeting my mom for the first time ever in her life, but that's how it always is. And again, nothing. But what these people, these professionals will never get from me is an attaboy. They'll never get that from me. They'll never get, oh, well, you know best. I would be like this, you're going to do what you're going to do, you know? I'm not the doctor. You're going to do what you're going to do. But you're not going to get approval from me. None of these people will. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh yeah, I think that's a real good idea. I'm not going to do it. But I'm also not going to foolishly think that anything I say is going to make a difference. See? How much in regurgitate or throw up or whatever his bland organic baked potato and organic hamburger. Same thing I ate, by the way. But I didn't eat it. I didn't eat it boiled. Boiled the hamburger for him. I cooked it up non-boiled and then I boiled it for him. It's like washing the pot, so I boiled it in the microwave, which isn't good. Potato in the microwave too. God, put those potatoes down. Because how about eating the rice with the rice things not clean? Anyway, he kept it down. Don't know what to do about him either. And that's my mom. She always knows when she's in these places. She has to take the meds. Or she won't get discharged, you know. I will never forget when she was ecstatic that the brand new to her medication, and she'd never been on it ever, that the mental hospital psychiatrist in his wisdom several years ago put her on, and then she landed in the ER. Funny how in this hospital she always lands in the ER, huh? Because this was a different time. Just a coincidence, right? Anyhow, she landed in the ER. They didn't know what was wrong. He had put her on all kinds of stuff, including Haldol. They took her off the Haldol, and they didn't take her off the brand new to her med, but they drastically reduced it. And she was so happy. I remember she was talking to me on the phone and slurring her words and whatnot, right? I said, Mom, once you get back in his clutches, once you're, in his clutches, and yeah, I will use that word, he's not going to listen to what the hospital psychiatrist did. Okay? It's going to be a pissing contest. He has you in his clutches. He's going to do what he wants. No, that won't happen. And she told me, it's just so disgusting. She told me, because remember, she came home over the weekend, he wasn't there. And she told me that everybody, she's like, all the nurses are saying how good I sound or whatever. Mom, as soon as he sees you on Monday, he's going to put it right back up. Because he doesn't give a fuck about you. He doesn't it's just a pissing contest, and he doesn't like the hospital psychiatrist reduced it. He'll probably agree to have you off the Haldol, but he's gonna keep this brand new Norvaton, whatever it was. I don't know I just saw it in my email when I was looking up something else from years ago, but whatever it was doesn't matter. It begins with N, and I don't know. The whole point is, she was gushing to me how everybody there thought she looked so good and sounded so good when she came back from the regular hospital, and then he immediately did what he wanted to do, which was put it right back up. And then she was back to slurring her words over the phone and everything else. So, there you have it. Auntie was in charge back then. I cried to Auntie. I didn't get fucked. This is all in my head. This all was, you know what I mean? I can't remember every little thing. So if some new professional says X, Y, and Z to me, I'm like, well, I know that this happened, but I don't know why they did this or that or why they took it. I don't know. I just know it is what happened. And that same fucking hospital, I'd never want my mom in again. The third and final time was when she landed in that hospital, and shortly after she was in there, she ends up in the ER, coincidentally, right? And then they stabilize her in the ER for 4 days, send her back to that hospital, and literally 8 hours later, she's back in the ER. So, the first time was the lithium toxicity in this fucking place. The second time was her falling in the shower or something. I think I have it all documented, or maybe it's the third, but whatever. One of the times she fell in their shower, and and landed in the ER. Maybe that was the third and final. I'm not sure. Or maybe that was the second time. Again, it all blends into fucking hell. But of course I'm going to say, don't you fucking dare send her back to that hospital. 3 strikes, they're out. They should have been out after the first strike. Horror stories. Horror stories. I mean, twice my mom lands in their ER. I mean, on 2 different times she was in that fucking place. Not a coincidence in my mind. And also landing in the ER, but and coming back, and then that final time, whatever was going on with her, they fucking listened to me. They did not send her back. And they were like, what the fuck? We stabilize this woman, we send her back to the mental hospital because we really don't have a choice. We can't justify keeping her.